Speaking of Amazon catching up, they have now decided to end their hourly rankings. So the way that Amazon normally worked with sales, borrows, and page reads and stuff is they would update their sales ranking hourly. At least that's what everyone thought. No one's really sure when the dark sorcerers over at Amazon decide to do whatever they do. But they have said that they're going to stop the hourly update. So what this kind of means is that you're no longer going to see so many number one bestsellers because it's so relative. Sometimes books slow down and mine went up.
Getting everyone to buy at 2 a.m. on Sunday.
I know,
How am I
right?
going to become a bestseller
I know.
now?
I got to get them when they get off work. So I'll get all these surges here. Or you try to get your newsletter audience to buy at a specific time so that you can get that tag. And these are, they're valid. It's a game. Play the game. Follow the rules. Play the game. The game is changing. The rules are changing. They're now trying to even that out so it doesn't happen so much because it does create false positives because it feels kind of like black hat kind of activity sometimes. And I think Amazon is just trying to keep that from happening.
The result of Amazon's old system is that the phrase best-selling author lost a lot of its cachet.
This is very true.
So we're all best-selling authors now. If you have a modicum of strategy, if you've paid for K-Lytics, if you know about category placement, if you know how to get your readers to all buy at the same time, it was a lot easier to get number one. I will say they'd been using a weighted average for a long time. So 10 years ago, it really was just whoever had the most sales this hour would jump to number one. Then they shifted to some kind of weighted average where you couldn't get all of your sales in one day because they would be averaged against some number of previous days. And we didn't quite know how it worked. I think it's still a weighted average. So they're still looking at past days for your current day's ranking. But now they're only updating the rankings once a day, which I think long term will help restore the phrase bestseller to have a little bit more meaning. Because what you're going to see is a lot less turnover. The same books are going to stay on the bestseller list rather than books popping up and then popping down, which is what we were seeing before. And it will make you using the bestseller list to find the best books in your own genre a lot more helpful. Yeah. Because you don't actually want to see whoever's got a book bub today. You want to see who's selling and actually enduringly popular.
You want to look at the tail. You want the longevity of the trend and not just the snapshot of what's happening at the moment. Because everyone can look good for a minute. And it depends on when you see it. It's like, guys, when you get married, and then you wake up the next morning and she doesn't have any makeup on. It's kind of a trope, in our world. But it's that kind of idea, It's like, when are you seeing the results? When are you looking? What are you going to see? And this is going to be way better for providing a more, I would say, homogenized instead of a peak and trough kind of view.
And there's another perk I just thought of. So one of the downsides of the hourly rankings is authors with brand new books out tend to, instead of working on marketing or working on writing their next book, spend all day long refreshing the Amazon page to see if their score went up or down. It's
true, yeah.
So now...
I check every morning. I'm not going to lie.
So now there's no incentive during launch week to check every hour to see if your ranking has changed. This is actually going to be a huge blessing.
We're not still going to do it, but...
When I was a teenager, I lived one semester with a family in Lubbock, and the mom of that family snuck. She was big into juicing carrots, and she had all of this carrot pulp that she couldn't bear to throw away. And so she would hide carrot pulp in almost every meal she cooked. And no, she was a really good cook, actually. And so you could hardly taste.
Did you turn orange?
No, I had a very high fiber diet. So I was very healthy. It was some of the healthiest I've ever been in my life, actually. And because she would drink the juice and we would eat the pulp. It was a great arrangement. And this is that same kind of thing. We're not excited about having a slightly more nutritious bestseller list, but I think long term this will increase the health of authors as they're distracted less. It'll increase the health of the industry, and it will make it a little bit easier to cheese the charts by shenanigans. Now you have to actually write a good book that appeals to readers if you want to rise up the charts, and I think that's a good thing.
I'm seeing that happen right now with Semper Die, actually, because it's held consistent, about 15 sales a day, pretty consistent over the past month or so. And Amazon is just really liking it. They're just keeping it higher in the rankings. I think it's 11,000 right now overall in the store, which is not fantastic, but it's way better than I thought it was going to be. Uh, so
Yeah, because so that kind of steady sales is
yeah,
way better than 100 sales in one day and then one sale the next 4 days, right?
right.
Overall, it's the same number or similar number, but that steady, slow and steady pace is now the strategy that's being rewarded by Amazon. So it's important. So while you listen to Author Update, it's important to know what kind of strategies get rewarded. It doesn't mean you don't do a book bub,
Right.
but the purpose of the book bub needs to be to introduce your book to new readers who've never heard of you, not as a way of gaming the Amazon charts, because you're not
Correct.
going to get the kind of Amazon chart bump that you used to. It used to be the Amazon charts were completely dominated by whoever had a book bub that day. And they weren't actually very helpful for knowing which books were popular, because it would be an entirely different group of books the next day because the different group of books were promoted on BookBub.
And you try to take it as like a metaphor from warfare or strategery. You don't focus everything on big strikes. Okay, nuclear bombs are great, but that's considered a strike. What you want is momentum, because how you break the will of an opposing army is by maintaining momentum and make them feel like they're losing and they cannot win. And so when you're
Everything's
doing,
a military metaphor with you, Jonathan.
I have
Send
been
a guy to
so
Marine
good
boot
on
camp
this
one
show.
time.
I've been so good on this show. But you want to think about it the same way when you're pushing your book strategy. You want momentum. You want a trend. You want a tail. It's great to have everyone buy the book on the first day, but that's one good day, and then you have 3 years of nothing while you're waiting for your next book to come out.
And the same is true with reviews. So a lot of authors feel like they need to get all of their positive
Yeah.
reviews on day one, but that looks really artificial because the date of the review is forever attached to the review. And if all of your reviews are from the same day and then you didn't get any reviews after that, that looks really artificial. And so I encourage people not to give away free copies to their launch team, to have their launch team buy the book and read the book and leave the reviews in an organic way is a much better way, especially in this new era of it's not about spikes, it's about momentum. So
It's really easy to train for 20 seconds of really hard fighting, but you need to have that stamina and that sustain to be able to keep going to make yourself successful. So I really recommend you guys invest in the tail. Okay, and that's what I think Amazon advertising is. It's part of the tail strategy. It's part of, and you want to space, BookBub, and then if you're going to do any Kindle promotions or stuff like that, keep them spaced out to maintain momentum. Try to avoid dead spots where nothing's happening. Keep in mind that events that may be going on that are put out by other indie authors, like you're going to do a promotion or a giveaway. The summer-based book sale is going on here pretty soon. I think that's the 12th to the 18th to the 25th. Just keep these things in mind, things that you can do to extend your tail, extend your trend, keep your momentum high, and plan that out ahead, because when you're in the middle of it, how do I keep this going? How do I keep this push? You don't want to do that. You want to be beforehand, okay, now I'm doing the next thing, and now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do this, because it's already in my notebook or my calendar or whatever.
Jaina makes a really good point. She says it sounds like long-running paid ads are going to be even more important. And I think that's absolutely true. Because paid ads don't give you that bump. In fact, this may be part of the reason why Amazon is making this change to incentivize more people to spend money with Amazon ads rather than with BookBub ads.
Well, you have to consider advertising has several tiers to it, because some of them are more burst focused. Like Facebook ads, I would consider to be burst focused. The ad runs for a short time and it accomplishes one thing, hits one particular target set, and gets the benefit from it, and then you stop the ad and you move on to something else. Amazon ads tend to be longer, and you can keep them running indefinitely to try to keep you active in the algorithm, and then your ads benefit from anything else you've been doing. Any attention you've drawn to your sales page through giveaways or promotions or whatever it is that you're doing will also benefit the algorithm on your advertising. So it's much more of a tail strategy, and there's a lot you can do to layer and build on that will get you some success, or at least more success than you were having, or set you up to receive the success that one day you will get by doing all the right things.